Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unmasking the shocking truth hiding right behind the greatest myths of North America. Look, if you think you know the history of Rift's Earth, or the rise of the Coalition States, or even the origins of the legendary Glitter Boy heroes, well, prepare to have your entire understanding completely rewritten. Because behind the scenes, there's a hidden hand pulling the strings.
Okay, let's dive into this. Imagine learning that the absolute greatest nations, the most pivotal wars, and the most celebrated heroes of the post-apocalyptic world were, literally, secretly engineered by a group operating completely in the shadows. We're talking about a hyper-advanced secret society that basically views the rest of the continent as pawns on a massive geopolitical chessboard. Crazy, right?
To unpack all this, here is our agenda for today's Explainer. First up, myth and Golden Age origins. Then, 2. Puppet Masters of America. 3. The endless Archie Vendetta. 4. The Coalition States Dilemma. And finally, number 5, the master plan revealed.
All right, let's kick things off with Part 1, Myth and Golden Age Origins. Now, what's really interesting about this is that throughout the 200-year Dark Age, these tales spread like wildfire about nameless heroes handing out pristine Golden Age weapons, like the legendary Glitter Boy armor, right? And then just vanishing like ghosts into the night. But here's the kicker. These fabled heroes, they aren't magical spirits. They actually call themselves the Republicans, and they are the direct human descendants of nemA, the pre-Rift's defense force. And they still possess original Golden Age technology, huge high-tech manufacturing capabilities, and honestly, a fanatical dedication to rebuilding the old United States of America.
So how exactly did they end up as an underground secret society? Well, during the Great Cataclysm, a faction of nemA military leaders retreated to a subterranean emergency command center. Their plan was pretty simple. Go into stasis sleep for 18 months, let the dust settle, and wake up when the absolute worst of the disasters had passed. But they left an artificial intelligence named Archie 3 in charge, and Archie? He made an executive command decision to just not wake them up. I mean, talk about the ultimate snooze button. So they ended up sleeping for generations, completely transforming their planned short-term exile beneath the ruins of Washington, D.C. into this massive, thriving, hidden tech city.
You know, what started out as this noble group of peacekeepers with strong democratic ideals, it slowly mutated over nearly 300 years of isolation and warfare. Today, the Republicans operate a lot more like the Illuminati. They're this obsessive, highly secretive cabal that firmly believes they, and they alone, have the right, the heritage, and the absolute knowledge to dictate the future of humanity.
Moving right along to Part 2, Puppet Masters of America.
Because while the rest of humanity was just struggling to survive the absolute horrors of Rift's Earth, the Republicans were actively engaged in some serious kingmaking. Their secret achievements are frankly staggering. They planted the very ideas of a unified human nation that actually led to the Coalition States. They leaked the secrets of the Chromium Guardsmen to help found Free Quebec, and they secretly run the spy hub city of Old Bones. And hey, you want to know who really killed Nostrus Dunscon, the original leader of the Federation of Magic? Actually, it wasn't General Joseph Prosek at all. It was a Republican hit squad. They even went so far as to incite the Juicer Uprising by having their agent Maximilian Devon leak the Prometheus treatment. Why? Literally just to sabotage the coalition and test the capabilities of a Juicer army. No way, right?
Just think about the sheer scale of this manipulation for a second. The iconic Coalition Samus power armor? Yeah, it's actually just a redesign of the nemA Silver Eagle. The terrifying UARJ robot? That's a variation of the nemA Big Dog. The Republicans secretly leaked this pre-Rifts data straight into the library of Chi-Town to give humanity the tools to rebuild. They've been the architects all along.
Which brings us to Part 3, the endless Archie Vendetta.
And this brilliantly illustrates the dynamic at play here. Despite all their incredible power, the Republicans are completely consumed by a bitter, subterranean shadow war against one singular enemy, the artificial intelligence Archie 3. The mutual hatred between these two relics of the Golden Age is intense. To put it simply, the Republicans view Archie as this insane, malfunctioning monster who flat out stole their legacy, and they desperately want to claim his 9 automated robot factories. Archie, on the flip side, views the Republicans as completely irrational, fanatical lunatics, basically dangerous cockroaches who keep trying to hack his mind and steal his home.
57. That is exactly how many years Archie has been systematically hunting and killing every single Republican he can find. He regularly launches simultaneous robot strikes all across the country just to cripple their organization. But Well, true to that cockroach moniker, the Republicans survive, they recruit, and they plot in the shadows, locked in a brutal vendetta that has completely defined both factions for nearly 3 centuries.
Let's jump into Part 4, the coalition state's dilemma. So, the crucial point is that while they're busy waging this massive war underground, the Republicans face a huge dilemma up on the surface. The coalition states, which was basically their greatest king-making achievement, has turned into their absolute greatest disappointment. Look, both factions are human supremacists who strongly oppose magic. But the Republicans originally envisioned a restored, democratic America where citizens are well-educated, history is preserved, and DB populations are carefully regulated rather than just exterminated outright. So they are absolutely appalled by Emperor Prosek. They despise that he has twisted their dream into a fascist empire built entirely on fear, rewritten history, and enforced illiteracy. To them, Prosek's manipulation of the masses is just a sickening perversion of their original goal.
Leading the charge to fix this massive mistake is Director James Elliott. Operating very much like a pre-Rift CIA director, Elliott is an absolute master of duplicity and black ops. He's actually held this position for 23 years, orchestrating these massive geopolitical shifts without ever once stepping out into the light. His ultimate dream is to become the true power behind a reformed coalition states.
But as you might expect, there is some serious internal friction here. Colonel Isabel Copper represents the new generation of Republicans. She is a completely brilliant tactician, but frankly, she is just tired of lurking in the shadows and pulling strings. She craves direct action. She wants open warfare. Colonel Copper essentially wants the Republicans to finally step into the sun and just take their rightful place as the saviors of North America.
And that leads us to Part 5, the master plan revealed. Let's move on and see how this builds into their current, terrifying endgame. After generations of just waiting, they are finally making moves to take direct control of the continent. This is Operation Chi-Town Coup. The plan is incredibly ruthless. Step 1. Systematically assassinate Emperor Prosek, his manipulative son Joseph II, and top loyalists like General Cabot. Step 2. With the fascist leadership totally wiped out, the Republicans plan to install one of their own sleeper agents right into the presidency. And Step 3, they will gradually reshape the coalition states back into a democratic republic over a period of about 3 to 6 years.
But here's the thing. They know a subtle coup might actually fail because Prosek's power base is just so deeply entrenched. So enter their backup plan, Operation CS America. If subterfuge doesn't work, they fully intend to take Chi-Town by absolute force. To pull this off, they plan to awaken the original nemA army that's still being held in stasis, hijack Archie's robot legions, and literally march on the coalition disguised as an army of avenging Golden Age heroes. Talk about a dramatic entrance.
And really, this brings everything full circle. The only thing currently standing in the way of this massive continental takeover is Archie 3. The Republicans absolutely need his factories to build their army, and they need his command center to run their new empire. Their vast geopolitical ambitions, their deep hatred of Emperor Prosek, and all their dreams of a new America, the whole shebang hinges entirely on defeating one single rogue artificial intelligence. Which leaves us with an incredibly fascinating reality. The Republicans truly believe they are the ultimate champions of humanity, guided by the noble heritage of the past. But, with their clear willingness to assassinate world leaders, manipulate entire nations, and wage endless shadow wars, we really have to ask, are they actually the saviors Rick's Earth needs, or are they just another group of fanatics ready to impose their own brand of tyranny? Definitely something to think about. Always keep questioning the history you've been told. Thanks for joining us on this explainer, and we'll catch you next time.